When solving numerical expressions, there's a word called BEDMAS that can help us to keep track of what we should do first. The B stands for brackets, so you do what's in the brackets first. If there are multiple sets of brackets, do all of the brackets, what's in them first. E stands for exponents, so after brackets, do any exponents. D and M stand for dividing and multiplying, so you do your dividing and multiplying steps next in the order that they appear. So if multiplying comes before dividing, do the multiplying first. If dividing comes before the multiplying, do it first. So sometimes we see a bracket around these two. And then last, we do adding and subtracting, and the same thing happens there. If adding is first, you add the two numbers together first. If the subtracting comes first, you subtract first. A couple of things to note: when you have fractions, you treat the top and the bottom as separate BEDMAS questions. So it's as though there are brackets around the numerator and the denominator. It's implied that they're there. So you do the brackets first, the 3 plus 7 to get 10, and then you would do the -4 times 2 to get -8. Finally, if you end up with a question that is a fraction, you want to reduce it to lowest terms, so we've divided each by 2. And in high school math, we generally leave our answer as a fraction reduced to lowest terms, unless we're dealing with money. So here's an example for us to work through. 15 minus 2 times 7 all squared plus 3 minus bracket 3 times 2. Notice that that dot here, that actually means the same as a multiplication sign. And another way to write multiplication is to have two brackets beside each other. That also means to multiply. They both give us 6. All right, so that's just a little side note there. Minus 4 bracket 2 times 2 bracket in large brackets all over 2 plus 1. So BEDMAS, do we have any brackets? Yes, we've got a bunch of them. So we go to our inmost bracket. We've got brackets here, we've got brackets here, and we've got brackets here. So we go to the brackets within the brackets first. So I'm just going to rewrite everything. So the brackets in the brackets, 2 times 2 is 4. All over 2 plus 1. All right, then we start over again. Do we have any brackets? Yes, we've got these brackets here, we've got this set of brackets here, and then the ones inside. So we go to our inmost brackets right here. Okay, can we do anything with what's in those brackets? No, we can't. So then we move to our next set of brackets. This set here is our next set of brackets if we're moving from left to right. So we've got 15 minus 2 times 7. So BEDMAS says, do we have brackets in here? No. Do we have exponents in that bracket? No. Do we have dividing or multiplying? Yes, we've got multiplying. So we're going to multiply before we do any adding or subtracting. And that's a dot, so that means times. All right, in our next step, we have, do we have any brackets? Yes, so 15 minus 14 is 1. Okay, and then, do we have any brackets? Yes. We've got that set of brackets still, but there's nothing we can do inside those brackets, so we're going to leave it, and we're going to go over here. We've got these brackets here and these brackets here. So we go to our inmost brackets. All right, can we do anything with what's in that bracket? No. So let's work on the entire part of that bracket and figure it out. So we've got 1 squared plus 3 minus 3 times 2. All right, I should have stopped before writing that. So inside this bracket, 3 times 2 minus 4 bracket 4 bracket. So we could write that this way: 3 times 2 minus 4 times 4, if that makes you feel more comfortable. Now when we look at it, it's a little bit easier to see what to do. We have to do multiplying before we do adding and subtracting. So 3 times 2 will give us 6. 4 times 4 will give us 16. And I know some of you are saying right now, do I have to do those steps to change this to the time sign? No. If you know what that means, you could jump straight to 16. In fact, as you get more comfortable with these kinds of questions, you will start being able to do some steps mentally in your head and not have to write down every step. I'm just trying to explain it in detail for people who aren't sure. Okay, BEDMAS, do we have any brackets? Yes, I can't do anything with what's in that bracket. I can do something with what's in that bracket, so I'll do that next. 1 squared plus 3 minus 6 minus 16 is minus 10. All over 2 plus 1. Then we get this line. So, do I have brackets? Yes, but can I do anything with what's in the brackets? No. So then I move on. Do I have exponents? Yes. So I'll do my exponents. 1 squared is 1 plus 3 minus 10 all over 2 plus 1. Okay, BEDMAS, do I have brackets? Yes. Can I do anything with what's in the brackets? No. Do I have exponents? No. Do I have dividing or multiplying? Well, this means dividing, but like we learned before, you treat the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator, as if they're in their own set of brackets. So we're not going to deal with this until we've simplified the top and the bottom. Okay, so do I have any brackets, exponents, dividing, multiplying, adding, or subtracting? Well, we learned previously that 3 minus 10 is the same as 3 plus 10. Okay, do I have any brackets? No. Exponents? No. Dividing and multiplying? Well, yeah, but I have to do the numerator and the denominator first. So then multiplying or dividing in the numerator and denominator? No. Adding and subtracting? Yes. 1 plus 3 plus 10 is going to give me 14 over 2 plus 1. Brackets, exponents, dividing, multiplying, adding, subtracting. And we've got down to our final answer, so that's 14 over 3. Fraction in lowest terms. All right, now on the next slide, I'm going to just point out a few things that I may have missed. So we talked about how you need to do the inmost brackets first. This is the same question. Okay, notice that the period or the dot means the same as the times sign. So right here, that meant the same as times. 3 times 2 gave us 6. Square brackets, curved brackets, or regular brackets all mean the same thing. They're all just brackets. It's just that it helps people sometimes keep track of what to do first. So here with the square bracket, instead of 2 sets of curved brackets, it kind of helps people see where pairs of brackets and steps are. It's just an easier way to communicate steps. Okay, next. Notice that you could simplify both sets of brackets at the same time. So you could have done all of this in the bracket at the same time as you did this set of brackets and basically skip down to this step. If you're comfortable with your math and you know what you're doing, you could have done that. Here in the blue, multiplication comes before addition and subtraction, so we had to multiply before we did our adding and subtracting. Okay, notice that as we work, we're creating a right triangle. So if you notice, we are getting skinnier and skinnier as we come down here. That's good math form. So you want 1 equal sign per row, and your work should be becoming less and less as you're simplifying. The pink one here, so when we were following our BEDMAS, we did exponents next. This step here, we talked about this. When subtracting a negative, you are really just adding. So 3 minus 10 is the same as 3 plus 10. And the fraction line also means the same as dividing. So you might think that you should do dividing before adding 1, 3, and 10. But like I said before, remember that it's implied that they're in their own set of brackets. So you have to do the numerator on its own and the denominator on its own. All right, if you can do all these steps, you are in great shape.